Hey guys, what's up? King Louis here with a new Mordhau video in which I wanna share some thoughts about an often asked question in the community. The question is, how can I improve efficiently? How do I get good at this game? We are now over 1 year into release, and with a lot of fresh players still coming into this game, I thought it is a good time to provide newcomers with a plan to close the gap to seasoned players. Showing new players how to get into this game benefits the Mordhau community as a whole and is crucial for the longevity of any multiplayer PvP game. I'm not saying that everyone should or has to improve as fast as possible. Not everyone wants or can put in the necessary effort. Some people just want to fire up a game of Frontline after work and mess around a bit. And of course that's completely fine too, as long as you enjoy yourself. But for those of you who draw their enjoyment from improvement and grinding the skill ceiling and look for a way to catch up to the curve, I have the following tips. My first tip to improve fast is to play on duel servers regularly. Duel servers are undoubtedly the best way to build your fundamentals from. You can focus on the basic fighting mechanics undisturbed by projectiles, backstabs and other distractions there are in a chaotic frontline or invasion game. Duels also have the least fighting downtime. In frontline you usually run 20 seconds to a fight, maybe get backstabbed or outnumbered without even swinging your sword once and have to run 20 seconds back to the fight. Whereas in a duel server, you fight, you die, you spawn. You fight, you die, you spawn and repeat. When I started playing Mordhau at release, no one was good at the game except some alpha players. It is pretty difficult to improve in an environment where everyone is bad and you don't even know what good looks like. People that start now, on the other hand, have the big advantage that there are a lot of skillful players around to learn from. You can basically use the time others have invested to figure things out to your advantage. So look out for good players on duel servers and keep fighting them. Use the way you die as a feedback to determine on what your focus should be on your next life. A lot is just about building muscle memory and getting your brain used to specific animations and seeing them over and over again. You can also ask players to point out obvious leaks in your fighting style after they killed you 15 times. But don't only play against better players. It is important to experiment and try out new things. Only playing better opponents means you probably will avoid your weaknesses and do only what you do best, what allows you to survive the longest. You can find duel servers via the server browser. Select Deathmatch and type duel as keyword. What exact server you should play on you have to decide for yourself. There are ones that have good moderation and others with almost no to zero moderation. Just try out different ones and see. There are aspects of the game that duels won't teach you, like awareness of your surroundings, target switching and some other things. But these are easier to learn once you don't need to think so much about the basics anymore. My next tip is to watch good players from their perspective on duel servers. Watching players in player perspective is completely different from observing them while you fight against them. It makes it way easier to recognize the things you should do and how you should do them. Observe how they footwork, how they manipulate their swings, how they move the camera. Watch everything they do and try to apply it to your own duels. This one is super helpful and probably the one single thing that helped me the most. You can also record someone's dueling session and watch a bit of it before you start your own session to get into the groove. Recording gameplay is super simple nowadays with Nvidia Shadowplay or Radeon Real Life. Having the right mindset is an extremely important factor for improvement in every skill-based game. Mordhau has a pretty high skill floor, which means that it takes quite a bit of practice to execute basic maneuvers like riposting or chambering. And at first you're gonna die a lot. Everyone that is good at Mordhau has died thousands of times. Dying is part of the learning process and you can't avoid it. So you better get used to it and try to learn from it without getting too bitter over individual deaths. Try to put away your ego while playing, as it more often than not hinders progress more than it promotes it. It also makes the whole learning process unnecessarily unpleasant. Changing your name for dueling sessions might help you with this. At some point, you will probably encounter a plateau that it seems you can't overcome. Notice that getting good won't happen overnight. It needs practice and self-reflection. The main way to land hits in Mordhau is to avoid your opponent's timed parry. You either try to hit him before he can parry with an XL, or you try to delay your swing and hit him after his parry window ends with a drag. High-level duels are for the most part riposte battles with drag and XL mix-ups. It is the most important mechanic to work on. I have a separate video about drags that you might wanna watch. You can find the link to it in the video description. My last tip is to practice chambering. Chambers are extremely powerful and the reason why the skill floor in Mordhau is as high as it is. It can take quite some time to be able to consistently chamber every attack angle at any given moment. Chambers are a direct counter to feints. While often used among beginners, neutral feints are very rarely seen in higher level play because of how likely it is to get chamber punished. Really good players even use chambers to counter swing manipulation. A good practice routine for chambers is to open a lobby with one bot and type toggle stamina and toggle damage into the console to disable health and stamina. Start with chambering only the stabs from the bot and parry the rest of his attacks. Once you're used to the timing, start also chambering horizontal strikes. Once you have that down, you can add overhead and underhand attacks. I suggest doing this routine for a few minutes every time before you enter a duel yard. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to enjoy yourself while you follow these 5 tips and I'm sure you will catch up to the curve relatively fast. Please like and subscribe if you liked this video and wanna see more Mordhau content in the future. As always, thank you all for watching and see you soon.